Hello and welcome to another video. This will be another Boogie2988 reaction. Anytime everyone takes interest in any video we see a Boogie, or if it's Anthem related, I'll try to react to it. I may not hit every Anthem video because I know he's probably done some I haven't reacted to yet, but yeah. Remember, the thing is with Boogie, most of the time he does do these game reviews, so I won't usually react to all of them, especially if he's talking about companies of games I don't like to play. However, Activision and Blizzard, Activision, Call of Duty, Blizzard, Overwatch, yeah, that tends me to actually want to react to it. So, with that being said, let's go.
If you guys enjoyed this video, hit subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell to get these videos as soon as they launch. What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, Boogie2988 coming at your levels, giving you the power of the internet. And I'm sure you've already heard of this, but I wanted to talk about it anyway. It looks like Activision Blizzard is set to lay off hundreds of employees. I guess maybe we don't all have phones after all. But according to Jason Schreier and a bunch of other sources, as of last Friday/Saturday, Activision is about to fire a bunch of people, and that's supposed to start tomorrow, Tuesday. But it was Bloomberg that reported the story on Friday, and even though people over the weekend have been trying to get Blizzard or Activision to talk about it, they are just not saying anything about it yet, so maybe we can keep our fingers crossed. But according to Jason Schreier, he's had a lot of Blizzard staff telling him that they're expecting the axe to fall sometime in February, probably the day of or day before the earnings call, which is Tuesday, February 12th. Now, while this obviously sucks for the people getting let go, the good news is we have a very, very resilient industry, and there's already people in the industry reaching out to people, working with Activision, working with Blizzard, telling them they've got a place at their companies, and I always love seeing that. And of course, if you've been paying attention, Blizzard developers and Activision developers alike have been seeing the writing on the wall, and they have jumped ship as early as this time last year. So, I mean, for the most part, the really talented developers have gone on to do other stuff. And if you've been paying attention to this channel this year, or gaming news in general, you'll know why Blizzard has been struggling. They've had this whole cost-cutting initiative that they've been told to cut costs at any means, firing customer service people, and of course they've had their share of controversy when it comes to stuff like putting the beloved Diablo franchise on a cell phone rather than on a PC. But ignoring all the controversies, Blizzard's had an incredibly bad year because the latest World of Warcraft expansion is widely considered to be just a very bad expansion, and the numbers are smaller than they've ever been. Hearthstone had the lead developer Ben Blow jump ship, and since he left, Hearthstone numbers are worse than they've ever been. Blizzard of the Storm is now basically a dead game after getting its esports initiative completely gutted, and a lot of developers moved away, and then there's the beloved rooster that laid the golden egg of Overwatch, and somehow they managed to mess up even Overwatch. And why they continue to add the occasional maps and the occasional arcade mode and the occasional character, they just did not continue to innovate with that game. It needed more cool stuff, and instead they focused on the cosmetics and the microtransactions with just a handful of actual content being added to that game, and that's not how you do a live service. They really needed to do more with that game, and unfortunately the numbers for that are lower than they've ever been. And I guess if I'm being entirely honest, Overwatch has had more than its share of controversies in the last year.
Numbers on Overwatch are lower than they've ever been.
And on the Activision side of things, when Bungie decided to take Destiny away from Activision, this was a huge blow to the company, because that's one of the tit poles that was propping Activision up, not just for gamers who buy their games and play their games, but also for investors, and that's what all...
Alright, so how about this? How about all the buck-ass tryhards leave Overwatch? That way, I can kill randoms easier. Because there's been a flow of tryhards on Overwatch right now. So, if more people decide to quit Overwatch, hopefully the majority of those people are tryhards. Hey, go back on my Overwatch streams, you'll see what I mean.
All this is about. It's about unhappy investors. But that move by Bungie is probably going to be where a lot of these staff cuts are going to come
overall,
from.
So
Jason Schreier reports that Activision employed an entire team full of Destiny support staff. That's PR, marketing, social media, business, and so on. Those people don't currently have not much of anything to do. There's been very few employment
opportunities. Would be my favorite game if it had a free run.
Who previously worked on Destiny. The good news there is that those people obviously have an existing relationship, having worked on Destiny, and Bungie
was possibly going to get help from Bungie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with their latest new game, they're gonna prick.
Alright. See, I don't play much Blizzard games, but I'll always play Overwatch, yeah.
Need to hire people to do that. So hopefully the folks over at Bungie will do the right thing and pick up as many of those people as they can to continue.
I tried World of Warcraft once, wasn't into it.
But the good news is for Activision and the people working for Activision, which is the only thing that's really important to me here, is the actual human
My friend
lives
wants
and
me to play or give it a try.
Call of Duty Black Ops 4 was one of the best-selling games of the year. I'll admit, the Blackout mode was very, very good. Now, I feel like a lot of the same players who have invested in that have moved back to Fortnite.
Yeah, I might actually get that game at the end.
Legends, but I'm sure there's still plenty of people buying plenty of microtransactions and Black Ops 4 to keep it happy. But to give you an idea of what kind of gear Activision's had, by the way, here they are at their peak at about $83, almost $84, and the day we're down to about $40. So they've lost half their stock value in this year, and the bottom is nowhere in sight. And that's just 2018, because if you go back another year,
I want Blizzard to
2017, 2016, that's when we saw the death of another giant tentpole franchise for Activision. And that
thing is, I like Call of Duty,
so they've been taking a beating for forever.
I'm not so into Call of Duty that I'd be devastated
on Friday, we saw a lot of people dipping out of the stock, and then here on Monday we see them selling even further. So you can expect the stock to continue to drop throughout the week, especially after that earnings report on Tuesday. So the question is, what can we learn from this? And the answer is, well, I guess we don't all have fun. Well, maybe that's just not where we want to play our games.
I'm sorry.
Maybe the lesson is that Blizzard knew what it was doing before.
For any of you that play Black Ops 4, in my opinion, I'd take Black Ops 3 more, because all you'll see on Black Ops 4 is tryhards. The thing with Call of Duty is every time a new Call of Duty game came out, the fucking millions and millions of tryhards go to that new game. So if you go on Black Ops 3, you only see a few of those tryhards now, because the sessions, they are relatively easy. I did some streams of Black Ops 3 in the last 6 months. You'll see that, and you'll see the difference. Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4. Oh, and before I unpause the video, I'd like to say Black Ops 2 should be remastered on PS4.
Or it got bought out by Activision. And older games like Warcraft 3 and Diablo 2 and World of Warcraft at its heyday was how you want to do these live service games. Not with built-in microtransactions and absurd grinds and all kinds of garbage in those games, but just making really good games first and then monetizing it later. Or maybe the lesson is, if you're the head of a successful studio like Blizzard or any of the ones that EA has recently purchased, you definitely do not want to sell out to these big demons, because they are just going to run you into the ground. Honestly, I think Blizzard would have been fine had they not sold to Activision. I really do. Or Destiny, for example. I think, obviously, Activision helped fund Destiny, so the game probably wouldn't have existed otherwise, but I do believe the game could have been even more successful had Bungie got to call the shots instead of the folks over at Activision determining how that game was monetized. I think without some of the terrible, terrible decisions that Destiny made, it could have been the World of Warcraft of those types of shooters. I think it could have been.
Tell Matthew that sometime.
It might still, now that Bungie has exclusive control.
Because of what
but I think the real lesson here is very simple. We shouldn't be designing video games to make infinite amounts of profits, unprojectable, unreachable levels of profits. And we shouldn't be promising those levels of profits for stockholders. We shouldn't be making video games for stockholders. We should be making video games for people who like video games. Because as Jim Sterling and Total Biscuit and a lot of other people used to say, there's only so many gamers to go around, and those gamers only have so much money to spend. We will spend money on a $60 title and sometimes throw you an extra 20 or 30 bucks.
I'm going to go in public.
Sometimes you'll get lucky, and you'll find those players who are addicted to your game, like your Call of Duties, like your Battlefields, like your Fortnites, who will buy the Battle Pass every season, year in and year out, spending a few $100s on your games, but that is a limited resource. And when that limited resource runs out, your stocks tank, and your company goes under, and all of those beloved franchises that you own, go with it. Can I get an F in chat, boys? But just maybe, had we not oversaturated the market with Toys to Life games, and maybe if we made a brand new Spyro game, maybe if we gotten a new mainline Diablo game, or a new mainline Warcraft game, or made World of Warcraft expansions good, or Hearthstone expansions good,
make a story mode for Overwatch.
Run Overwatch into the ground with bad management, then maybe this company would still be worth what it was this time last year, which was about twice as much. But it is
think
frustrating to see
realizes
all
how
these
much
terrible
money they'll make
management
if the story
decisions
mode is created
lead
from
to so many people losing their job, talented people. Now the good news is the industry
That's
is
my only
filled with
criticism of
other
that game.
competitors who will
That's
pick
it.
up these talented people, and they're going to be okay. But we will pull
Oh yeah,
a
you remember
Mountain Dew
those
out for you in the
events,
meantime.
but like the.
And that's just one man's opinion. I could be wrong. And if I
but
got
like
something
talent,
wrong here, I want you to do me a favor. Let
and
me
all
know
those,
yeah.
in the comments section
With, like,
below while you're down there.
the
Drop a
story.
like on
Yeah.
this video. And if you
Where
enjoyed this
Jeff Pimpling
video
is
or
already
other videos
hinting
like it,
there's
hit
gonna be a
subscribe.
story
And if
mode.
you already subscribed,
Good.
hit that notification bell and let
Watch.
YouTube know that you would like to get
Depends, but
notifications.
just
Even
make
though
them
the
run for its money.
notification system is
If they were to
mostly
subscribe,
broken,
I
you
probably
probably won't. But it's worth a try. Guys, as always, thanks for watching. I love you very much. And I'll speak with you again soon.
Alright, well, hopefully, after the firing, that is, if it hasn't happened already. Also, pretty good for Boogie to get 100,000 views. That's quick. But anyways, yeah. But I'll continue to support Blizzard, somewhat like Activision, but mainly Blizzard. So, yeah. Alright, with that being said, I'm going to end this video here. Stay tuned for the